Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday. How are y'all? Sorry, the cord was stuck under there. It's Dr. Dare live on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Hope you guys had a great week. We have two fantastic topics that I've pulled from the internet, social media. Very interesting. They will pop up on the screen momentarily. There we go. And welcome, welcome, welcome. When you come in, click share and let me know how your week was. Yeah. How's everything in your life with this new Delta variant that's kind of taking us back to almost where we were last year? How are you feeling? Chime in, chime in. We have two good topics. Number one, a 12-year-old girl gives birth to a 24-year-old man's child. The mother of the 12-year-old is arrested and the father is arrested. I just read that. Do you think she should have been arrested, or the father, or both, and why or why not? That's our first question. And number two, Nick Cannon. We all know Nick Cannon from I think it's what is it called? He's been on so many things. Let's see, let's see. He's been on. I just went blank. Nick Cannon has been everywhere, but he believes that it's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas that you're supposed to subscribe to one woman or one family. The Mask. That's what his latest. I can't talk to that. That's what his latest show is right now. But he believes that it's Eurocentric to believe that you have to be married to one person. You can have multiple families. Uh, he's created a lot of families. We'll get into details, but right now we're just checking in to see how you are. Happy Friday! I hope everybody has had a blessed week. A lot of changes going on in our world again with the pandemic, and you know. Again, if you're feeling sad, if it's getting to you, talk to someone. Don't hesitate to do that. But yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope I didn't lose people because it seems like people just dropped off. Anyway, we will get started momentarily when more people join. When you come in, click share. Let me just make sure that I can be heard or that you guys can hear me. Oh, there we are. That number just dropped. Hey, Colin, how's your week been? Woo! Thank you. You gave me one of these topics through Instagram. You sent it to me via, I think, message, and so I saw it. I think it was the Nick Cannon one, actually. So thank you for that one. And do you want to be a celebrity talk show? No. Anyway, yeah. So when you come in, click share, click share, click share. It's some interesting topics on here. Um, 12-year-old girl gets pregnant by a 24-year-old. Mom knew about it. Mom gets arrested. Number two, Nick Cannon believes that you said no, Kelly. Nick Cannon believes that you can have multiple families. It seems like that ideology is going around a lot lately, and so we want to dive into those two topics momentarily. Um, work, 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 work. No. Tell me about it. Since I came back from vacation, that I've been swamped at work, just trying to keep up. It's just a lot of busy work, and then I'm writing an article for a magazine, writing my book still, seeing clients, working my full time job, grading papers. Thank God that this is the finals week for my students. So yeah. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. When you come in, click share. Let me know how your week is. Tell us, say hello. We have two topics. Number one is a 12-year-old girl gives birth to a 24-year-old man's child. The mother of the 12-year-old is arrested. Do you think she should have been arrested? And I was just reading an article. He was actually arrested too. I'm going to give you more details of what I read in the article. I'm going to attach the link up here too so you can read the article because it's crazy. And then number two, Nick Cannon, this does not subscribe to the idea of creating a family with just one woman. He has multiple families. We'll get some details on that too. I just read that article as well. And we'll be talking about those two topics. I can't wait to hear people's ideas on both of these. They're interesting. And thank you, Kelly, for the Nick Cannon story. They get you every time. Yeah, when you go on vacation, it's like, that's why sometimes I hate going because I'm like, if I just continue to work, I get things done. But self care is very important, so I go. You have to get the self care in there. I see the numbers keep jumping up high and then they drop. So hopefully, hopefully I have a strong connection. Hopefully you guys are not. I'm not dropping in and out. But we will start in at 8:40. I usually like to give people 10 minutes to get in or get home and situated and whatever. Um, yeah. So what do y'all think? Are y'all back wearing your mask? And I know I am in the grocery stores and all that stuff because I had stopped for a little while because CDC said we could, but then I picked that right back up. Okay, good, Kelly. It sounds good. Okay, just making sure because I see the numbers. It'll go up high and then it'll drop and then it'll go up high. So maybe it's other people's connections or something. But we will be starting momentarily. So I can't wait to get into some of these topics because I'm just like, whoa. Yes. People believe anything they hear about you as long as it's bad. I just saw that on the post. Isn't that true? I don't know. People tend to just like to hear negative stuff. I think we're so used to hearing negative stuff that when we hear something positive, it's like, uh, oh, really? That's it. hmm Yeah, Kelly, the Nick Cannon, that is a hot topic. I was taken back with that because I would have never thought that that was his mindset. Um, but we'll get into that. I, well, and that type of thinking is going around with the polyamorous relationships and things like that, kind of on the same line. But I read something in the article that he stated, which kind of makes sense. So I can see his perspective, but I'll tell you about that in a second. And I'll post that article so that you guys can go read it in full as well. Yeah, one more minute and we will get started. I like to be on and off, get the topic covered, and then you can watch it later on. If you're watching later on, make sure you share it after you've watched it. If you make a comment, usually if it flashes on my notification, I will respond to all comments, even when you're watching it after the fact. But these are some hot topics, some good discussions on family. They're centered around family, centered around how the family dynamic is changing before our very eyes. Things that we thought were tradition, and I'm all for breaking tradition because some traditions aren't. That's all they are. They have no validity to them. They have no usefulness, and so sometimes those traditions do need to be broken. So I'm all for that. But yeah. Hey, Melanie. Long time no see, my Delta sister. How are you? I'm glad you joined. Yes, yes. But yeah, like family dynamics is changing before our eyes. There's multiple types of different relationships. Like I said, poly relationships. You know, heterosexual relationships, homosexual relationships, all different types of relationships. So things are changing. Yeah, Melanie, it's been a long time. How long? How long? Well, I was at Delta. The last time I was at Delta was like, miss you too. I don't think I even see you on social media a lot. Are you still? Do you still live in Georgia? Okay. So welcome, 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 every. Thank you, thank you. Just working hard over here, but now I've worked so hard. Now it's time to enjoy life. You're not in Georgia anymore. Where do you live, Melody? Yeah, it's time to enjoy life. I've put too much time in the school and stuff. It's time to rest and relax and enjoy life now. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna get started. What we're going to start with number one. What are your thoughts? A 12-year-old. Good. Do that. Send me your number, Melanie. Um, a 12-year-old gives birth to in Canton. Okay. Oh, you're not. You're far, but not out of reach. A 12-year-old girl gives birth to a 24-year-old man's child. The mother of the 12-year-old is arrested. Do you think she should have been arrested? That's our first question. What are your thoughts on there? And I will give you a little bit of information that I found out on this article, which I thought was just crazy. So this family, they all knew about the 24-year-old dating, and that's the article I just sent the link. They knew about the 24-year-old dating this 12-year-old. Like the family, they threw her a baby shower. Um, I think when she went into labor at the hospital, the dad was there and he was admitting, "Hey, yeah, I am the biological father of this child." And so yeah, they were just getting along. But get this little piece of that. So Kelly says so wrong, and yes, she needs to be arrested. Yep, she was arrested, and he was arrested. Um, but I forgot what I was just going to say. But yeah, the family was throwing a baby. I know what it was. The family was throwing a baby shower for this 12-year-old. Everybody in the house knew that this 24-year-old was dating this 12-year-old, and they all went along with it. Nobody said anything. And so Melody says everyone involved should be arrested. Yes. And this was right here in Oklahoma. I think it was Oklahoma. Yeah, it was Oklahoma. And baby shower and everything. But guess what? He gets locked up for a rape charge from a previous situation. So basically, mom is just letting daughter be whatever at 12 years old. What are your thoughts? That's the additional information that I got from that article that I just posted, which blew me away. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? So Kelly says it's so wrong, and yes, she needed to be arrested. And Melanie says everyone involved should be arrested, and they were. But again, they act like it was like nothing. It says the family permitted the relationship, and there are photos of the family throwing a baby shower for the victim and the suspect. The girl's father is currently in prison, serving a 12-year sentence for first-degree rape. Oh, the girl's father. Sorry, not the boyfriend. Take that all the way back. I read that too fast. The girl's father, the 12-year-old, that's where the dad is. The dad is in jail for rape. Not the mom, not the baby daddy. He's not in jail. The little 12-year-old's father is in jail for rape. So it sounds like a an environment for chaos and all of that stuff. A pedophile. Yeah, Melody says he's a pedophile, and Kelly says he's a. What did you say, Kelly? Yeah, so the father, the biological father of the 12-year-old is in jail for rape. So now we know this environment is just probably just chaotic. I sent the link so everybody could read if they wanted to read more into this story. But I saw this um, on social media, one of those websites, where this 12-year-old was gone into labor. The dad was there when the police when the the hospital staff asked him who's the father, he was just like proud. I guess at this stage he thought, you know, there's nothing wrong with this. But that's what I always tell clients. Depending on your background and where you came from, some things that other people look at is like, what in the world are you doing? Other people may see that as normal because that's the environment they grew up in, and that's what it seems like for these people, because they were celebrating baby shower and all with photos, and the father goes to the hospital, the 24-year-old with this 12-year-old late kid that's pregnant with his daughter. I mean, his child. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, and like nothing happened. And I guess if no one would have asked or said anything, she would have had the baby and went on home like nothing. But the family knew. That's the sad part. So if you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Melody, I believe that. I believe it's just set up. Like, hey, or they thought it was just okay. Like the parents um thought it was okay, and it was a his. Seems like it's a Hispanic family. That, I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but the name seems like they're Hispanic. What do you guys think? So her arrest comes 2 weeks after her then pregnant daughter was brought to a local hospital by Juan Miranda Jara, a 24-year-old man who allegedly told authorities that, excuse me, he's the baby's biological father when they confronted him about the pregnancy. Like, and the mom, Desiree Constanata, 33, was taken into custody on Thursday on one count of enabling child sex abuse, according to the Tulsa Police Department. So she went to jail. The mom of this 12-year-old went to jail for child sex abuse. So Melody, I guess you have a point. Like, hey, maybe they groomed her for it. It just seems like it was the norm for them. Such crazy stuff. Like kids and women used to be like valued and protected and in our society, and now they're up for whatever. So yeah, it's horrible. What else? What are your thoughts? I just thought that was a crazy story. As soon as I saw that heading, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to talk about this. And the sad part about this is that this is still happening probably right now in somebody's home. There's this kid that's dating this adult, and everybody's cool with it. So if you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Dr. Dare Show live on Facebook and YouTube. And we have two topics tonight. We've started talking about number one, which is on the screen here. A 12-year-old gives birth to a 24-year-old man's child. The mother of the 12-year-old child is arrested, and the father is arrested as well. And the mother is arrested. Like I was telling everybody that was already on, the mother is arrested for child abuse. Let me make sure I quote that right. Child sex abuse. And the father, let's see what they arrested him on. Was arrested while the girl was in labor at the hospital. Police said at the time Miranda allegedly admitted to. So they didn't say what he's probably like what, statutory rape or something like that. But both of them were arrested, and so I was asking everybody on, what are your opinions of this story? Because the family, and I'm sorry repeating for the people who are already on, but the numbers just popped up. So yeah, the family was given a baby shower and everything with this 24-year-old, so they all knew about it. Um, and so it was nothing new. What are your thoughts on this? And this is sad that this is happening in probably right now still somebody else's household. Yeah. And when you come in, make sure you click share. So that is topic number one. Anybody else has any comments on that one? Let me get back to that screen. It's just an interesting case. Oh, somebody's commenting. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, okay. So go to the second topic. Okay, any more thoughts on that first topic? Why did I just post that? Okay. So yeah, just a sad situation. So next topic, since there's no more, but we know we topic hop. So if anybody comes in late and you want to talk about the 12-year-old giving birth, you can still chime in. It's not too late. And when you come in, say hello and let us know how you're doing. So our next topic, I'll just put it up there by itself. So Nick Cannon does not subscribe to the idea of creating a family with one woman. What are your thoughts on this before I give you the little additional information that I found in this article, which I will share on here as well so that you can read it for yourself later. Just I see his point, but I understand where there's going to be some dilemma. What do you guys thought? Nick Cannon, we know him from the show Mask, the Masked Singer, I think, and he's had a lot of other shows in the past, but he has a lot of kids. Let me name how this goes. Um, and I'll put it on the screen. So this is how many kids and stuff Nick has. 10-year-old twins, son Moroccan and daughter Monroe with ex-wife Mariah Carey, a 4-year-old son Cannon, and an 8-month-old daughter, Powerful Queen with Brittany Bell, twin 1 month, one son's twin 1 month old sons, Zillion and Zion, with Abby De La Rosa and a 1 month old. So that is Nick Cannon's um, family. So he believes that um, um, you shouldn't. He's not subscribing to the Eurocentric idea that you have to stick with one person. You have to be with one family. What do you guys think about that out there? What do he's talking about the marriage, the I just lost my train of thought. He's talking about the institution of marriage and how the way it was derived is that usually a man gave his daughter away and you know as if she was some type of property, and that's kind of where he was going in the article that I read. I put the link there. He was kind of just saying that he doesn't subscribe to that and he doesn't want to be involved in that type of um, situation anymore. Hey, Tiffany Johnson. Tiffany says there is no way he can be a present father for all those children. Right, and that's a big question out there of all of these kids that I just read. That's a lot, and how can you be present with them with their needs, especially when they start getting older, um, to be a present father, but then you're not showing any stability either in your life. It's as if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna move to this next situation. If that doesn't work out, I'm gonna move to the next situation. Do you feel like his comment is like a cop out? And Nicole says, Kelly says he said he's not married. He can have as many as he want with whoever, and he can afford all of them financially. That's Mike. How did I jump from? Okay, so Nicole, hey Mike, and hey Tiffany, welcome. Um, Nicole says he said he doesn't subscribe to Eurocentric lifestyle of the traditional family, right? But do you think that's a cop out? And then Mike says, as long as he's not married, he can have as many as he wants with whoever, and he can afford all of them financially. That may be true, Mike. But back to what Tiffany said is that can you be a present father in your all of that many children's lives and do it successfully? I know you can buy a nanny and all of that stuff, but the stuff that I see in therapy when I'm doing therapy usually is triggered by not a father figure being there or a not a mother figure being there. So there is something to the absent father or the absent mother, or the nature versus nurture. There's no nurture, then the person develops attachment issues, and then they don't know how to have a relationship. Which I don't know the background of Nick Cannon. Is his family still together? All of that stuff. That's a whole therapy session. Tiffany says, I heard that Nick Cannon is having these children to create a donor for himself since he has lupus. Oh, that's a good point. Anybody else heard that? Tiffany says she's heard that Nick Cannon is having these children to create a donor for himself since he has lupus. Hmm. What are y'all thoughts on that one? And then Kelly says maybe not to cop out just his beliefs, but he has found women we who are in agreement with this lifestyle. Right. But they probably in agreement with that lifestyle, Kelly, because they want the money. Once you have a kid, basically that money that that father has is basically the kid and yours, basically until the kid gets old enough. So I don't know about that one. Uh, and Kelly, you're saying you haven't heard that he was having kids for the lupus, like Tiffany said. And Mike says you can be with one woman with many kids and still not um, be there emotionally or physically. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. But I'm just saying, like Tiffany was saying too, it's harder though. It's even harder to be there. But money is there. Money is there. I don't know. I mean, I don't see this any more different than a polyamorous relationship. Basically, having different partners. And like I said earlier, before people got on, a lot of people are questioning the institution of marriage because Nick, what he said in the article was he doesn't like the fact that when you marry somebody, it's almost like they become your property, and he doesn't want that mindset. That's where the Eurocentric ideology piece comes in, because I guess back in the day, the man gave the father gave his daughter away to another family or whatever, or attached. Um, you know, so that's what part of what he was saying. But I'm listening to y'all with all these different reasons. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. I feel, I guess, if the women are fine with it, if they are okay with sharing, I don't know. So he was married to Mariah. But y'all are saying he's not married to any of the other women. So I'm gonna read you his children history again. That's on the screen. 10-year-old twins, son Moroccan and daughter Monroe, with ex-wife Mariah Carey. A 4-year-old son Cannon, and an 8-month-old daughter, powerful queen, with Brittany Bell. Twin 1-month-old sons Zillion and Zion, and with Abby De La Rosa, and a 1 month old, because I think he just had a baby a month ago. It's a lot of kids, but got the money, hey. But I don't know. Do you think he'll ever get to the point where he wants to settle down? Kelly says, "Oh yeah, the money." And then Mike makes a good point. You can be with one woman with many kids and still not be there emotionally or physically. So, Mike, what are you saying? That it's as long as that person is happy and doing what they want to do, that's okay. That's what it sounds like. And I'm all for it too. As long as you're taking your care of your kids, and I feel like though you need to be in their life. You shouldn't just be just here and there and every now and then popping in, but they're being taken care by their mom mostly. I feel like you still need to make it a point to try to be a part of their lives. But hey, but I'm telling y'all, marriage is changing. The definition of marriage, and you know who you're marrying, and having multiple wives and multiple husbands, all of that's changing, and to each his own. I'm not here to judge that. As long as you're happy with it and you're handling it, and you're in good mental health with it, I, you know, it's up to you. Any more thoughts, y'all? Y'all got hot there a little, and then y'all just got quiet. So, welcome if you just joined. We've covered two topics. The first one was a 12-year-old got pregnant by now. What we know was her boyfriend all along. He was 25 years old. The family knew about it. The mom, the siblings, everybody else knew about it. They threw the little 12-year-old a baby shower. Um, and when they took the 12-year-old to the hospital, the 25-year-old was there just as if nothing was wrong. And when they asked him who was the father, he's like, "Yeah, I'm the biological father." So that was a whole different story. That was number one. And then number two, we're talking about Nick Cannon. And if you're looking at the screen right now, you'll see all of the kids that Nick Cannon has. And he's saying that he doesn't subscribe to the idea of marriage as we know it. He believes that he could have multiple families. And some people on here believe that, hey, that's true. As long as he got the money, he can do it. Some people are like, no, he's not going to be able to be a present father between for all of those kids. But then some people, Mr. Mike says, hey, but we got people that only have husband and wife, and they have one kid, and that father is still not present in their lives. Hey, Karen. Karen says marriage's definition is changing. Nick did a great interview on the Breakfast Club where he stated his case for having lots of children and his views on marriage. And I posted an article, Karen, but did you get anything else out of that article that stood out for you? I know I understood the part where the traditional marriage seems to be like making a woman property or the man type of property when the dad gives over the daughter to this man or whatever. And so I know he focused on that a little bit too in the article. So I got that part. Um, but then Tiffany was on here saying maybe she heard that he may be having kids to see if they are a match because he has lupus. And, who knows? Maybe so. I hope not. I hope you're having kids because I don't know, maybe it's just a slip up. You had sex and you had a kid. Who knows? Anything else, y'all? We're at the 30-minute mark. I'm always like, okay. But Karen, yeah, I do agree. And I mentioned that yeah, the marriage definition has changed so much. Um, you know, and I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. It's I do agree that you should be open about before you get married, you should explore and understand it before you attach to someone and make that commitment. Um, but everybody has a different perspective on that. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, so those were our two topics. I'm not going to keep y'all. And thank y'all for joining. And we will talk next week. Oh, Tiffany says, so hold on. Tiffany says the definition of marriage be changing, but God's definition takes precedent. So Tiffany's coming from a biblical perspective that, hey, we still need to keep that marriage of an institution the way it's always been. But yeah, it is It's changing for. I mean, as the clients that I see in my sessions, my therapy sessions. Um, yeah, I can't speak. I have to wait till they define that their marriage is. Karen says, I agree that you should be in your agreement about what your marriage will be as partners. So that's why I always recommend, excuse me, premarital counseling before you get married. You need to understand the boundaries of each other. You need to talk about things. You need to define what marriage looks like because a lot of people, some people have one idea of, hey, marriage looks like this, and the other person has the total opposite. And then uh that is why they don't get along. What? um you'll need a life. What does that mean, Michael? Yeah, so yeah, everybody has that different definition. So I've noticed that um when they come into therapy session. Definitely different nowadays, Kelly says. Premarital counseling, what do you say? Save lives. Yeah, I feel like yeah, that should take place. I say even if you're dating someone for 6 months, you need to go to therapy because the big three things that I always say on this show is that I find in couples is that there's three big problems: boundaries, people crossing boundaries, trust issues, and communication. Three things: communications, trust, and crossing boundaries have been the big three things that I've seen um, in couples. But yeah, so we've discussed two topics. Um, I'm gonna put them back up here really quick before we go. I see more people coming on. Um, yeah, let's see. Stick these back up here. Kelly says yes, 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 yes. Therapy is needed. Therapy is needed. So these are the two topics we discussed. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. So definitely, definitely, definitely. Anything else, y'all? I don't want to hold y'all too long. Again, we get into our 40-minute mark. You know me, I'm ready 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. But good stuff, good stuff. I like when people come in with their different opinions and are able to express those opinions and we don't get upset with each other. We learn from other people. And what I tell people all the time, this having debates like this and talking about stuff like this shows you how different each person's perspective is. And so even though you think your perspective is right, there's so many other perspectives out there. So that's why it's always good to have a good uh, place where you can have communication about things and people don't try to change your thoughts. So, anyway, y'all, happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye bye.